I like to do things that are out of this world. Two men skating together, that was fun, but that's not fun anymore. People will always take it personally. Oh, really? Was there nothing good today? Really?
You're now connected to Evoking Involvement with our international team. Danny is in California, USA.
And Vladdy is located in Spain, Europa.
Muy bien. Through core discussions, interviews, and relating our own personal life awareness,
we really hope to make your life journey a bit more peaceful, allowing our podcast to educate, evoke, and entertain. Okay, now I'm getting chills. That's a good sign. And let me tell you, our guest today knows how to entertain, okay? With his winning smile and his messy, sexy mane of hair, he's a dancer, skater, choreographer, performer, daredevil, director, and an artist extraordinaire. We are so honored and delighted to bestow on you Zabato Bebe.
Well, thank you so much for this amazing introduction. I feel really honored. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me.
This talented man currently lives in Cologne, Germany. He has such a unique style, you'll see, and his upbeat spirit and shining personality come out in every performance. It's all his own. This guy's talent is, beyond human. Really, when I see him on his many vids, I am agog. I am speechless. Zapato, are you human? I think you're from another planet.
I'm definitely human, but I also would say I like to do things, or at least try to do things that are out of this world.
Oh, that's great. Before we move on, I just want to ask, does your first name have a special meaning?
Yes. In fact, my first name comes from my dad's native country, which is Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast in West Africa. And so in his language, which is Vite, it means together we're strong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I really truly believe that also, that and even though I started off as a single skater, performing and skating on my own, it was always a team that really is always responsible for anything that you get to accomplish in this world. And I think that's always true for anyone, whether it's like inspirations that we get from outside, or whether it's different people, mentors who support you on your path. Whatever you do, I think it's never just purely out of your own strength and motivation. Of course, that it plays always a big part, but I really truly believe that whenever you approach something together and with a good group of people, it just makes you that much better and stronger.
Wow. Well, I'll go on with your introduction because it's amazing. So this fellow has literally danced and choreographed around the globe. Well, only this planet, wasn't it?
So
Okay.
far. Oh,
Well, they're getting started.
Oh.
They're just beginning. So from 2017 to 2020, Zabato danced with Cirque du Soleil first ice show called Crystal, which toured in Canada, US, Eastern Europe, and the UK. So he's Austrian and Österreich, aren't you? And was raised in Vienna, but currently lives in Cologne, Köln, Deutschland, Germany. One critic summed up one of the Zabato's performance like this: he amazed audience with his daring jumps and spins, performing gravity-defying moves that left them breathless. Zabato is a rock star on ice.
Whoa!
Do you agree, Zabato?
Those are all really, really nice, flattering words, and I mean, I gratefully accept those. So yeah, whenever someone says something nice like that, I just can say thank you, thank you, thank you. And all I want to do is like, inspire people a little bit and really help people forget the worries of this world. Whatever someone is going through, I hope that whatever cool stuff I get to do on ice, off ice, as a choreographer, as entertainer, as content creator, it just allows people to forget reality just for a little bit and have a maybe it's just a 5 second blissful moment on a reel or an half hour to 2 hour show that someone gets to enjoy during one of my performances. So whatever it is, and I'm so grateful that people seem to mostly enjoy what I do.
Oh, yeah. Now, presently, you are performing at Fantasia Land, an ice show called Rock on Ice. And you are also the choreographer and the ice captain of the show. I guess this is what a theme park near Cologne.
Yes, that's right. So it's a theme park near Cologne called Phantasialand. It's a really, really cool theme park, if I may say so myself. I got to already perform and grow also as an artist and choreographer here for many years. And yes, currently we're performing Rock on Ice, which is just a really cool, fun, fiery show I hear, and to some of the coolest rock songs that most people know.
Can this, have they filmed any part of it where somebody can watch it on YouTube?
I want to say there are definitely bits and pieces that you can watch back. Generally, people are not allowed to take videos, but there are definitely a lot of really cool pictures that I'm sure are somewhere out there. Sometimes I post some of those pictures myself, some behind the scenes stuff that we're filming sometimes from our practices or rehearsals. That is definitely something you can find out there. Yes.
Good, good.
Well, uh, let's go to the very beginning. So you started off skating as a kid of at the age of 6, something like that. So tell us, how was your ice story beginning?
Well, I was always, I think, yeah, and I think my mom would definitely agree, a very active kid. So I was always running around, climbing on trees. I love to go swimming in the summer and, of course, skating in the winter. And so one day, I remember I saw my very first Holiday on Ice show, which is one of the biggest touring ice shows, I mean, I think in the world, but definitely in Europe. And it came to Vienna every year around January, Christmas time also. And I saw that, and then right across the street was an ice rink, so I went to skate, of course, as I do, like skating around. And once one coach approached me, was like, "Oh, I see," or approached my mom, and I was like, "I see your kid likes to run around and skate. If I don't want to take some lessons, just to become an even better skater." And I was like, "Yes, I would love to. I can show off and learn even more cool tricks." On the ice. And so I started with taking one session a week, and that went to 2 sessions, 3 sessions, started to do competitions. It went up to 9 sessions a week with trainings in the morning and in the evenings, afternoons, late night. And yeah, and so until I was 18, 19 years old, I did competitions, just like that. And always, I mean, kind of like from the very beginning, I was inspired by just doing cool stuff on the ice. That was really always one of my motivation. I mean, I always loved, of course, like the jumps and the spins. That was really fun for me. But also because my dad, being from West Africa and being an African dancer, he was one of the first people, like definitely first African dancers in Vienna. I mean, back in the days, like people turned around when he was walking on the street because some of them had never seen a black person before, yet alone black dancer. So bringing some of that dance influence that I got to have onto the ice was always really exciting. It wasn't always easy because, especially in figure skating, which is quite classical and classically inspired, it wasn't always easy to get people to sign up for that. But fortunately, I had a really cool coach, and she was riding a Harley Davidson herself, so she was definitely a rock queen, and she liked to piss off the establishment a little bit, and so I think I was the perfect student for her. And yeah, she really encouraged me to try different and new things on the ice always, really.
Now you performed on cruise ships as well, right? What kind of show did you do on the cruise ships?
On the cruise ships, I was really lucky actually because my very first show was on cruise ships, and it was a takeout show, we call it. So it really is the cast one, the first show that a group of people is performing together. And so the spot that I got to have was like I guess I got to contribute a lot to that spot because it was the first I was the first person to perform that spot. So we were in California for rehearsals, and then brought a brand new show onto a ship. And like the shows on the ships are absolutely amazing. I got to work with the amazing Sarah Karahara and Chris Nolan. We did who put the show together, and the production was called Willie Beat It Production, who was in Vienna at the time, and I got to audition for him and Kathy in person, which was really, I will never forget this moment because that's kind of the moment that kickstarted my career in show skating. So yeah, and then performing on ships was absolutely unreal. Like, first of all, I'm from Austria. It's like it's landlocked. We don't even have an ocean. We don't have a sea. So just seeing like this huge mega cruise ship in front of me and getting to perform in it was an absolutely incredible and unforgettable experience, especially when you're at sea. You still feel the waves a little bit. So all of a sudden you're used to just skating on solid ground, pretty much slippery, but solid and level. But when you're at sea and maybe it's hurricane season, like you definitely see and you can feel the ship leaning a little bit. So yeah, lots of good memories from that time for sure.
Was it easy for you technically to skate on the moving float?
It definitely took some getting used to it, and some days the moving was more than on others. And I mean, sometimes you have to adjust the skills that you're performing in a show depending on the weather conditions and on the movement of the ship. But yeah, it definitely took some getting used to it, I would say.
What year was this? I'm curious.
That was 2007, 2008.
I've been on, fortunately, quite a few cruise ships, and I did never realize that they could actually have an ice rink.
Yes, and to my knowledge, Royal Caribbean is the only cruise ship company that has ice shows.
Zabato, so strength. What is your main strength?
Wow, that's a great question. I would say that probably my biggest strength is combining disciplines that most people wouldn't think of combining with each other. And I truly believe that comes from my parents, with my dad coming from a tiny village called Mabouguier in Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa, and my mom also coming from a small village in Austria. They met, and they were not supposed to be together, at least according to society's standards and expectations. But what came out from that is me, right? So in a way, I really feel that I'm continuing that and bringing things together that people normally don't associate with it, like trying to bring African dance on the ice, or even back in the days, bringing hip hop onto the ice, elements from breakdance. Like, that's something that people normally don't associate. I'm currently in a course of finishing my degree in artificial intelligence, and I'm also trying to see how I can enrich live performances with this brand new and very current technology at the moment. So really going into different areas of interest, and then seeing where the meeting points are, and how this can create something interesting, really something interesting. I think that's probably my biggest strength, looking where others don't.
I want to dive just a little deeper into your personal life. Can you name a challenge that you have recently gone through that was kind of difficult for you, and how did you manage to get through it?
I think one of the biggest challenges was going back to skating with my current partner, Alejandro. That, which now in hindsight, of course, is like, yeah, of course, like, it's super cool, and we get to actually perform together in the show. But two men skating together, that is something that in the way we do it, very few people have done it. I'm sure in history someone has done it. I never like to say, oh, we're the first ones to do it, because someone has done it, definitely. But at the moment, nobody's doing that. So, like, getting this off the ground kind of took a lot of bravery from both of us, a lot of trust in each other. And yeah, and it definitely paid off, because at the moment we're like, performing for almost 1,000 people a day who get to see like two strong men perform with each other on the ice, and yeah, just defying stereotypes really. And hopefully others are seeing that as well. Whenever I see people in the audience who are not like everybody else, and I can see it in their eyes where they're like, oh, this is possible. And sometimes I'd like to follow their life journey, and maybe I hope that maybe we're like this little spark that, inspired them maybe to do something that they maybe didn't think that was possible until that moment.
I just want to audience know Zabato and Alejandro are boyfriends, and I think I have seen the two of you dance together on YouTube. Like you throw them over your back.
Yeah, I throw him over my back. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Alejandro. And how long have you two been together?
Well, we started skating together for like about a year and a half. So we're really good friends, and started off as work colleagues, and then we had this in show, which is like a cabaret. A lot of people and shows are doing it just for to do a personal project, because you're doing the same show every day, but maybe there's something that you want to do, and that really you just want to show your colleagues, your friends, or the company. So we were like, why don't we do a number together? And he was like, really? And you think so? Okay, let's try. He was and then like it was like I think 2 days before the performance, and we weren't really sure if we were gonna do it or not. And then we were both like, why not? Let's just do it. Even if it's not great, it will be fun. And yeah, and our artistic director saw that, and then it was time for me to find a new partner, a new skating partner. And yeah, it was just the perfect match then for the next season, to actually put this number into the show.
Working together sometimes can be really challenging, and actually you are sharing some of this experience. So what are those secrets that can help you to overcome those challenging working with your partner?
There are always different team dynamics and different characters in a team, especially now leading a team of 12 skaters through an 8-month season. Some people are new, some people's are they're repeating guests in our show, performers in our show. Understanding different types of personalities really helps, but I think more than anything, you have to understand yourself, know how you react. Of course, when you're in a good mood, everybody's collaborative and everybody's like patient, no problem. But especially on those days when maybe you woke up with the wrong foot, you're a bit tired, or you're stressed, you need to know how you tend to react in those situations and understand yourself, so you can still be, and you can still show up. You can still show up as the best person possible, because people will always take it personally, and not be afraid to say like, hey guys, I had a really bad night and my patience is running really low, so just know that. And it's not personal, but that's how I'm feeling right now. And then everybody knows. So then if you're a little snappy, people know like, oh, we just woke up on the wrong foot. So yeah, I would say like really knowing yourself, understanding different personality types, and yeah, and not taking yourself too seriously.
Oh, I like it. So what is the best and the worst you've known about yourself?
I think the best is that I usually show up with a smile, and I think I like to have like a genuine positive attitude, and I think I am very patient. And what I had to work on though is setting boundaries. So really being able to say like, hey, that's enough. Like, yeah, it's all fun and games, And I think that's my strong suit, like, to have like encourage a positive atmosphere. And I just enjoy it so much. I really love when people laugh around me, when we're all doing something together. But they're always like, just like in any classroom, where people will try to push your buttons a little bit and see how far they can go with different things here and there. And that's when you have to have like a strong enough personality where you say like, okay, I see what you're doing there. That was fun, but that's not fun anymore. Okay, and if you can say it in a normal and constructive and good way, people will respect you just even more for that, and it will actually make it so much nicer and easier just to have a good time as well.
Very well said. Speaking of all of this and feelings and feeling good, not feeling good, how do you tackle depression?
I think music really helps me. Like knowing your favorite songs, knowing the things that make you feel good. So for me, it's like just putting on some good song with a good beat, putting my headphones in, and just dancing it out. Like I love nothing more than skating on, like, with a really loud music turned on, just by myself. That's definitely my happy place. Whether it's here at the arena, we have a great sound system. I turn it on. I'm on the ice by myself. There is nothing. I mean, there's almost nothing that can put me in a bad mood in this moment. Also, one of the most beautiful moments that I've had was just to skate on natural ice, like really being connected with nature. Because figure skating, it doesn't feel like something natural, but there is ice in the real world. But as a skater, we're always used to skating in an ice rink with artificial lighting, with artificial ice. But when you get to skate on natural ice outside, and maybe even have like clear ice, and you see the water or the fish or the branches underneath you, I mean, believe me, to me, there's nothing like it.
So what would be your top three for this like place you've told where you're happy in your list of music?
Oh, in my music list, for sure, Stromae. Like anything from Stromae is just putting me in a great mood. If people are
Okay.
not familiar with him, Alors on danse, most popular song, not my most favorite song from him.
Which is your favorite one?
Papa is
Papante.
great. Yeah, because it was really popular, and the music video really highlights some of the amazing different dance styles that there are, and it was one of the first songs that really incorporate very not like very cool African instruments, like the guitar there that you can hear. That to me, I really think of like the music that I hear when I'm in Cote d'Ivoire and on the radio.
Okay, we have two more.
Two more.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Tous les mêmes from him, I really like as well, because it shows the duality, and like it's a song where he has like a kind of split personality, and the duality between masculinity and femininity, and how he goes between the two, and yeah, tapping into his masculine power and his feminine power, to create his kind of art. And what else would I say from? I like Closey and Edit. Probably Edit. There's a song called Ants, and it does have not any. It doesn't have any words, but it has this really sick beat and this instruments, which is just crazy. You try to follow it, and you kind of can memorize it, but it has all these amazing edits and these amazing accents in the song. And yeah, if I turn this up like really loud on the ice, oof, I'm on a different planet for sure.
Wow, wow. What dancer and or skater has inspired you through the years when it comes to your craft and art?
Oh, for sure, all the old school men skating, which were like Philippe Candeloro, Elvis Stoico, and of course Kurt Browning. He is like still to this day one of my idols, and I had the privilege of working with him on Crystal Cirque du Soleil, because I mean, no doubt he was an incredible competitive skater, but then when he became professional and when he started to do shows, every number that you see from him is like, to me, on the next level of entertainment, like that's real entertainment. He brings out and he invents different characters. He makes easy things so cool, like so simple. He has this one number where he's just stepping on the ice with skate guards, and it's the funniest thing. Or he takes 10 minutes just to step on the ice. He just puts one blade on the ice and goes really slow, and it's this whole build up and this thrill of something so simple, and that's just to me like beautiful entertainment. So yes, he's definitely one of my idols.
Wow. What is your recipe in keeping your body, these two of yours, in the tip-top shape?
Well, it's pretty intense at the moment. So I usually start my day at 7 o'clock with a workout, like a half hour, 45-minute HIIT workout, followed by a bit of stretching. Then, of course, I have 2 shows. So I do have a little warm up of like mobility training before the first show. Then I have the show itself, which is kind of also keeping me in shape. In between shows, after lunch, I work on some more lifts and tricks with some of the people in the show, also with my partner Alejandro. We're always trying to invent and work on different new lifts. We send each other reels all the time. So that's what we're doing in between shows. Then I have a second show, and then sometimes a third show. And yeah, and after the shows, usually at around 5:30, we go to our ballet room here. And currently we're working on roller skates as well. So we want to try to bring the skills that we do on the ice onto the roller skates. And so usually we spend another hour and a half to 2 hours on that. And yeah, after that, I'm pretty much done, fall asleep. And then I give like lovely podcast interviews. And yeah, and then repeat the whole thing again on the next day.
Okay. Well, Danny, you see, it's quite an easy to follow routine.
Yeah.
So we see from tomorrow we can start it, and let's share our advances.
I'll meet you halfway. I'll meet you in Marbella on the ice rink tomorrow morning. Okay. Zabato, when was the last time you heard "I love you"?
Oh, that was actually 3 days ago.
And who said it?
My girlfriend. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, she came to visit, and yeah, spent 10 days here, and yeah.
Sweet.
Yes, that was really nice.
Well, I think I know 2 of them, but what is your favorite color?
Can you tell?
That's why.
Would you like to guess? Well, yes. Currently, I'm really rocking the yellow. My partner Alejandro, he said like, "Oh yeah, yellow. That's his power color." So yeah, and I really like the yellow at the moment, but anything colorful really. Yeah, I also like the blues and the greens.
You just like color.
I like color. Yes, absolutely.
Name one of your favorite films of all time.
Life is Beautiful. That was a really touching movie. That was, wow. I really enjoyed Inception. The concept of going down in a dream world is like, wow, really mind-blowing to me. My childhood movie, my favorite one was definitely Lion King. So that was also some of my first performances on ice that I ever did, like to Lion King when it was a club show or something. I had like a bodysuit that was all golden yellow. And my coach was making a little tail onto the costume, and I was performing too. I just can't wait to be king in our little club show. So I remember that movie, seeing that one 6 times in the movie theater when I was a kid.
Have you seen the musical Lion King?
Yes, I actually got to see the musical Lion King on Broadway.
You've named Life is Beautiful, La Vita è Bella. So what do you think happens after we die?
I mean, if I only knew. I think the only honest question is I don't know. I think I thought about this actually quite recently, like 2 days ago. That's weird that you mentioned that now. Yeah, I was on my way to work, and I was kind of thinking about like what happens when we die. Is there something after? Can I imagine not to exist? Because that's a weird thought, right? How can you not be? Um, and what happens with us, when all the neurons don't send messages anymore between each other. That I don't know. Really, I don't know. But what I do know is that all the people we interact with, we have an impact on them, small or big. So our actions will live forever. That I have no doubt. So in a way, yes, we're eternal, because it's like you push one domino and you take it away and you shred it, the others still fall, right? So in that sense, I do believe that we're internal, which is why I think it's so important to really find the right words, the right actions, in this world, and really remember that we do have an impact on people, especially for me as entertainers, um, with the things we say, the things we do. Even if we don't, a lot of times, especially on social media, we don't see our audience. We see the numbers as a follower, but we don't really viscerally understand that this is a person that sees us, that we have an impact on. So.
Zabato, what impact would you like to have in few words?
I mean, in a simple way, I want to do cool things with cool people, and that very selfishly brings me joy. Now, what someone else takes from that, I think that I cannot influence. I really hope that it does something positive with someone, whether that's a little kid who is like, oh, like normally I only see people who look like this that are skating, or I never saw two men skating together. Maybe I can do this, but where it takes them, I know that I cannot foresee what happens, to that. I always say, like, to my teams, or not always, but sometimes I tell them, like, it's an ice show when things are getting heated a little bit. It's like it's an ice show. Like, it's just an ice show. We're not doing open heart surgery, okay? So, take it easy, enjoy, have fun. And then really one day I come out of the show, go outside, and there's a group of people approaching me like, hey, telling me like, oh, you did such a great job, and this is amazing, and I could never do what you do, and all the really nice things. And I get to chat with them a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, so what are you doing? And they're like, yeah, we're actually doing open heart surgery. There are doctors from Holland who came over, and they're doing exactly that. And they think what I do is amazing. Is like, that was like blowing my mind. So even if they're just a little happier, they had a nice, good time, um, that puts them a little bit at ease. They enjoyed their vacation, and then they can go and do their job better. Like, that's really all I can ask for.
That's very well said, and I really like your analogy of the dominoes, and if one domino, breaks up or whatever, the other people are still affected. And what calls to mind for me is the holiday film, "It's a Wonderful Life" with Jimmy Stewart. And I'm sure everybody has seen that, which emphasizes what you're saying, Zabato, is that we do, believe it or not, have an impact every day on others.
Whether we know it or not.
True, yeah. All right, now a little bit of lighthearted. When you go to bed at night, what do you wear, or what don't you wear?
Well, in this current weather, nothing. Like, it's too hot to wear anything at the moment, for sure. Yeah. At those degrees, absolutely nothing. But I always like to sleep with my window open, anyways, because I am like, it's so hot. Right now, I'm just using a thin sheet, like, just to have something. But no.
What is something that bugs you about other people?
If someone is constantly focused on the negative and can't see the beauty, I know that doesn't say, maybe that says more about the person, and I don't want to hold it against someone, but that is something that I can only stand for a little bit. Maybe, yeah, because I love to bring joy to people, and maybe that says more about me than about the other person. Because I feel like if I can't bring just a little bit of joy or just a little smile or make someone's day a little bit better, maybe I feel that I failed. But when someone is absolutely unwilling to just see just a little bit something nice in this world, I'm like, oh, really? Like, is there nothing? Is there absolutely was there nothing good today? Really? That sometimes can bug me. Yeah, I would say so.
Now, you have traveled quite a bit, performing all around the world. Do you have a favorite city?
um, well, my hometown, Vienna, Austria, is
Ah,
definitely one of the best. I mean, there are, what is it, like the most livable city every year, I think. So that's definitely one of the most beautiful cities. Um, and then around the world, I like Edinburgh for sure. I like some weird cities too in the US, like San Antonio in Texas and Austin. Thought they were amazing. San Diego, absolutely phenomenal. I was in Tallinn last year, Estonia. I thought that was amazing. St. Petersburg, absolutely gorgeous. Um, yeah, there've been a lot of good ones. Helsinki, I was there recently as well last year. Um, yeah, so many good ones all around the world.
when
Abidjan, of course. I was there in January in Cote d'Ivoire. That's definitely a place to visit. Yeah.
when you were in Helsinki, did you happen to go to the Tom of Finland Museum?
No, I didn't get the chance to go there, unfortunately. Yeah, we were performing in Tampere, so I was only in Helsinki for a little bit. We went to some of the islands there around, and yeah, took the ferry to Tallinn one day. But I have to go there next time.
Yeah, it's exquisite and quite fascinating. Yeah. Now,
Well, could you name a notable celebrity that you would like to spend dinner?
As in stage presence that they keep inspiring me. One, of course, is Michael Jackson. But him, I'm actually not so much interested as a person. I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to chat, but like just as a person, I was like, always admired him. But also Falco. So Falco is lesser known, but he was really famous in Austria because I want to say one of the few, maybe the only Austrian who had a number one hit in the US, which was Amadeus. And him, like, I listened to his album up and down when I was a kid. Unfortunately, he passed away in a tragic accident, but he had this whole persona around him, which to me was mesmerizing. Like, he really, I mean, he did not seem like a nice person, but it was this persona, and it was this, I don't know, this flair that he had around him. Yeah, I think I would be really curious to meet him.
where was he originally from?
He was from Vienna, from Austria. He grew up around the corner from me. Um, but yeah, he was, I think it was quite big in the 80s, early 90s, maybe. Hmm.
Amadeus. I remember that song. It was very popular. If you wrote a book today, what would the title be, Zapato?
I think maybe Together We're Strong.
Ooh.
Yeah. And probably about all the people that I got to meet, that inspired me, that nudged me like left and right to, get me to where I am, I guess. And yeah, something around those lines.
What would be that word or short phrase to describe Zabato Bebe?
How would you describe me? I feel like we already know each other. That's hard to say about yourself because, I have. I think it is a question about like who is describing me because everybody is, I'm Zabato, of course, but I'm Zabato, the performer. I'm Zabato, the son. I'm Zabato, the brother. I'm Zabato, the boyfriend. I'm Zabato, the choreographer. So in a way, as any wise person would say, it depends.
Now, I would say sunshine yellow.
I like that. Yeah.
And I would say colorful strength.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
lovely. Lovely.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
So you have things to choose about around.
Yeah.
Right.
Take them both. Take them both.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, sure.
we have actually, believe it or not, have come to the end of our program, and we want to thank you, Mr. Bebe, for your time today. And please check out Zabato's website. Oh my gosh. There are YouTube videos there that he has posted. You'll on his website too. You'll be astonished and flabbergasted with his fellows uber talent. I'm not kidding you. Your jaw will drop open. And thank you guys to everyone around the world who has joined us for this episode of Evo.
Yeah, danke schön. Stay tuned for our next episode, which is coming shortly. And please subscribe and like us as well.
Adios. Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, in Deutschland, Germany.